Now we're going to move on to another undefeated but did tie player, KrazyCaley versus Magician1099.
Yeah, let's get a diamond match in. It'll be fun.
Diamond matches are always fun.
I mean, not for us, but for you guys, yeah. Yeah, let's get into it.
All right.
KrazyCaley, one of the two men who's going to be participating in the grand finals alongside KCM. Always fun to watch.
All right. I just about have picks and bans ready to go. All right,
Yeah.
here we go.
Okay,
Starting up with the picks and bans. We'll probably see something pretty similar to what we've been seeing with KrazyCaley. He's been pretty normal with his bans. Let's see if he mixes it up. This game doesn't really have any effect on the standings, I don't believe, unless Magician is trying to play to get out of hazards. I'm not quite sure.
No, it's already locked in.
This match was from back in week 10, I believe.
That's
yeah.
correct.
Well, yeah, it is from back in week 10, and that's all diamond. That's all diamond, platinum, and gold play. Obviously, the divisions go on to 13 because they're single round robin and larger. But no, Magician basically already locked in after let's see, Bacon beat them in week 8. No, sorry, Bacon lost to them in week 8. But won against Kletos in week 9, and that sort of settled it. That meant that Magician's run at possibly avoiding the hazard match. It was a real possibility after that upset of Bacon, but did not happen after Bacon took care of business against Kletos. So Magician will be in the hazard match regardless of the outcome of this.
All right. And then we had Magician deciding to ban Veranda. Caley banned Library.
What?
This is Caley saying I have nothing to play for in this week, so I'm gonna mix it up and try stuff just because I don't get many chances to. I think.
Yeah. Magician picked Tan, and Caley picked High Rise. Not something you see too often.
Like I said, yeah.
Caley, what's happening?
Magician picked Balcony, and then Caley picked Pub. So 3 5s and Balcony and Tan. So this will be a fun one.
All right. Well, apparently this is happening.
Well, there's just no downside for Caley here. Obviously, I'd like to go undefeated again, but he's already locked into the finals. And again, you just don't get much competitive experience if you're Caley on some of these venues.
Especially Tayen, because it's perma-banned for him, basically.
Oh, Caley? No. He's been daring people to ban it against him, and most people have pick it against him, rather, and he hasn't. He banned it against me only. Frankly, it was a bit of a surprise because, well, he's got to ban something, right? There's High Rise, too, and he doesn't like that either. That's the normal ban. But he will basically say, you know what? Yeah, sniping on Tayen is tough, and it's tough for you too. And so I'm going to get a spy win just as often as you are, so go ahead. And Magician says, I'll take that bet.
Fair enough. So, KrazyCaley versus Magician. Starting things out on Tayen, any 4 of 8. Caley on the spy, Magician on the sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And instant bug from Caley on Tayen. That's actually pretty standard. He loves the Tayen chaos bugs.
It's weird because you can usually find such flawless bugs on this map. It seems counterintuitive that you go for them so early.
A little bit, yeah. You're definitely going to get better options.
Banana bread.
Makes more sense when you go into a rush, which is looking likely with that banana bread. That makes a rush much more likely.
Contact comes off, not even bothering for the flirt. This has rush written all over it into the side statues. This is probably just going to be an inspect swap.
No, that's center statue, and that's exactly what I was thinking. As soon as the BB came off, I thought, oh yeah, this is going to go right into center statues afterwards. Otherwise, both of these moves make no sense.
Gets both of the inspects done just before the statues get picked up. Gets caught for the swap, though. Magician on top of things.
Jeez, Caley even got an assist from the party with people on either side of him to obscure the statues. You're a taller character, which actually interferes with your plan a little bit there. But the party really wanted that to work, giving him all that occlusion. But Magician is all over it, and he knows how Caley plays. 1-0 Magician.
Here's the thing. 3 cycle.
Yep, I guess that's what he caught. That's the cost of the swap.
Didn't hit any of the green tests on the
Oh,
inspect. So had to
late,
do a third cycle, and
still,
Magician wasn't having it.
late season Magician is scary, is the thing. Even with all that going on, he's sharp.
Yeah, that was very impressive stuff by both players, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But Magician gets the better end of it, and now he's on the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And Magician doing the exact opposite of KrazyCaley and starting slow.
Well, you can afford to on Tan. The mission density is off the charts.
51% on the first flirt and in conversation with the double agent. A very busy conversation as well, but the other one isn't as busy as it maybe could be, so Magician is holding on for just maybe a little bit more. I think now is the moment. But not taking it. People start to bail on the other conversation, and the moment is gone for the contact.
Yep, but you can afford to chill. The beginnings of Tan games, if you don't want to rush Bug, can actually feel like the beginnings of high-rise games quite a bit. You can just slowly get your flirt off, look at the party, and that makes sense too because the sniper's going to have to make shots based on things they didn't see, which means, like high-rise, you actually want to be observing the party quite a bit early on right now.
Second flirt brings it up to 85%. There's the contact coming off. Very good contact.
Oh, yeah, excellent. And because it's excellent, Kaylee's going to make the difficult decision to say, I'm going to assume real here, because otherwise I'm not getting enough information and I'm probably going to lose this game, which is true. It's high risk, high reward.
But it's also Tayen, so you need that.
Yep, we've seen him do this before. We saw them do this in the finals of the Winter Cup, if I recall correctly. No, not the finals. I think it was one of the games against Opie in the Winter Cup, in the semifinals. He did the same thing.
And with that difficult decision made, it's down to 4. Very unusual bug there, but it comes off clean.
Kaylee was not zoomed in, and yeah, it is going to be clean. You're still going to be credited, of course, because Tayen, but that's a good bug and really solid progress here from Magician. Question is, will he get shot for a late inspect? He probably will because the party's so winnowed down. If you figure I make this assumption, it's down to just, let's see, 4 people here, and one of them happens to go to center statues in the last minute, is that really not going to be the spy? That's kind of a behavioral shot, but it's also the kind of shot you have to take on Tan sometimes if you feel you're behind, and right now the sniper is.
Flirt's done. Magician's been highlighted for some arcane reason into center statues.
Kaylee's flashing on Teal.
Kaylee takes the shot on Magician, though, and holds it 1-1.
That's all it is. You have to assume maybe the bug, but it was the decision to assume real that made that a viable shot. Otherwise, it's a very scary and much more aggressive shot than it actually was.
Yeah. God, this is fun.
It's good stuff.
Diamond.
It can be a lot of fun. Yeah, again, I'm having so much fun watching it, not participating at all. I wouldn't mind playing one more match. Cry, QQ. But yes, it is definitely fun to be done with it and to watch other players have to play it. Oh, and watch them have to play it with all the statues exposed, by the way.
Oh boy. Good luck, Kaylee. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
He doesn't need luck. He's got a little lucky charm there. Pocket-sized lucky charm.
I don't need luck. I'm too small for luck. Early bug. Oh, look at this briefcase BM.
That's terrible. He turns on a swivel. That part was visible to Magician. There's no way they would do that unless it was a briefcase. You should be able to shoot for that, although admittedly it's in the chaos. Another chaos bug, though. This one with a little more cover than the last one, but maybe still not totally necessary.
Well, bug done. 1 fingerprint done. Isn't able to get the second fingerprint because the book hasn't gone back yet, but I'm assuming Kaylee will be paying attention to it. Well, maybe not now, since center statues has a fingerprint hot.
So let's see. We're Smallman. We're on Tayen, and we're thinking about picking up a fingerprintable center statue. Can you shoot him 5 or 6 times, maybe? Is there a machine gun somewhere? I'm exaggerating, of course. You don't want to put too much focus on that character just for that reason. But come on, like, you're really leaning into the suspicion if you do that. And
34% on
there
the
we go.
first flirt. Guess what we're doing, Track? It's a fingerprintable center statue with no Sojis.
Magician. Magician. If he does anything after this, by which I mean walks somewhere, you got to think about this.
All he's got to do is flirt now.
Good Lord. I think that first fingerprint was free is the problem, as crazy as it was, as possibly unintentional as it was, as hardtail as it was. I think that was basically just free, so the center statue was just not enough heat.
Here's the thing, though. This is going to be a silent game.
Yep, that's going to make it pretty rough.
It is not easy to shoot for a silent game on Taeyen.
No. No, it's not. And it's not easy to shoot Smallman ever.
You can't hit the bastard. He's so
Nope.
small.
Nope. It's just physics, people.
68% on the flirt. Hasn't hit any green. Kaylee's been having a rough time with green tests this evening.
Yeah, his AT rate is generally pretty high. And,
Magician gets bored.
I said if he does one more thing, that one more thing might have just been being Smallman, but he does get shot 7 seconds after an interrupt.
Yeah,
so
it was 2 more talks.
That's all it takes, I guess. It might have been an aggressive, desperate shot, but I don't know.
You know what I think it was? I think Magician was really on to that first fingerprint and just wanted to confirm.
Maybe. If so, he waited a while, and I'm impressed by the patience if that's the case. Whatever the case, 2-1 Magician.
It also looks like at the end there that it looks like a reverse bug from Smallman with the talk. So I think that's possible. Reverse bug in the talk is pretty popular, so that's another potential thing that set Magician off.
Well, you could still blow this, though. You need to win this spy game to convert. Otherwise, Taeyen is for nothing, and you're just playing a shortened set against Caley, albeit on venues he doesn't play as much. This is where you got to cash it in, though.
Let's see what Magician can do in 3, 2, 1, playing it. See if Magician can work his magic.
Banana bread.
And guess what? The statues are all exposed again.
The magic word is banana bread. Happens almost immediately and lets off, 3 lowlights. I would say that's a little subpar for a spy on Taeyen. But it is early, which has other added benefits, potentially.
Look at this, though. 19% on the first flirt.
Magician
is
is
almost as bad as a red test.
Almost as bad, yes. I'd say that's like an orange test. It's like halfway between red and white.
I love it. Magician stepping into the green bookcase. Let's see what he does with this.
Well, we do have both shelves covered by shoji. The statue's not covered at all. We do have a shoji on the back, which can help with some other things, but this is only marginally better than completely uncovered. Both spies here on Taeyen in their second round, getting an unfortunate shoji setup.
Second flirt, 48%.
Breathe, Tobo. Breathe. I think what we're learning is that doing magic tricks for your date, not very seductive.
That was a
which I think we knew already.
Even jump back in. That should.
I like it. It was super AI-like.
Yeah, it was. It should lower the seduction target a little bit, but.
So the problem is, against almost any other diamond sniper, that would lose you some heat and or get you a low light. Kaylee doesn't care. Yeah. It was a great little move, though. It looked so AI.
Side statues.
And that's a big choice, to not go in one swoop.
Pair of inspects. Minute and 30 left to play. No completions yet. Can't even finish the flirt in one. And the selection target bailed on us. We are in conversation with the double agent.
Taft is the only other highlight, too.
First contact didn't take, apparently. Double agent bails. There's the bug, so that's a mission that's done, which is the only one we have.
Welcome to Taeyen, where bug is significantly easier than flirt.
Yep. This map, man. Magician back in the statues once more to finish up his inspect with probably about 45 seconds left to play by the time he's done with it. Needed 2 missions. Seduce is not really on the table anymore.
Probably not. You can flirt a little more aggressively on Tan. There's a lot of movement, so it's possible, but you got to get a flirt right now, basically, to make it happen.
Well, there it is, 73%. Green test on the Purloin. Have to find a way to get this last flirt in. Gonna bail all the way to the back. Might be a contact instead.
And we're in with
seconds. It is a contact.
We're in with the
There
only
it
other
goes.
highlight. We're in with the only other highlight, and we're both talking, I think?
Mission win pending.
Nope.
What does Caley do? He's not taking the bait.
The other highlight takes
There's the
drink.
Purloin.
It's the other highlight.
Took the list. What does Caley do?
Taft is
He's
dancing
not
around,
shooting.
too.
He's not
Taft is
shooting.
dancing.
He didn't think either of his remaining highlights could be done, so he tried to pull the trigger on someone completely random. Doesn't come off in time. Magician goes up 3-1 against KrazyCaley.
And that was 7.5 seconds of overtime. He clearly wanted to shoot Taft, but couldn't line it up and didn't want to miss outright. Taft did everything you wanted him to do, too. Now, obviously, he's in for the conversation with the DA. That's not too crazy. But he takes the drink, then he leaves and bounces like mad. I don't know if it was going to matter. That all seems like gravy because I don't think the Magician was going to get shot. The Tayan pick gets cashed in. Dare you to pick it into me. Magician says okay and goes 3-1 on it.
And now it's Caley's doubled map, which is goddamn high rise.
Yep, this is going to be an experiment, I'm sure, let's say.
That's a good word for it. And Caley is starting things off under the gun in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And Magician has only played a handful of high-rise games this season. Caley as well, actually. He's only played 4, all of them against me, actually. I think he's banned it every other match, or nearly every other match. But Magician, not a big fan of it either. Magician has been leaning into pub a lot this season, though, which obviously not the same, but certainly some similarities, another 3-5 variant.
Caley opens things up at 34% on the flirt, also in conversation with the double
Banana
agent.
bread.
Also,
Contact
there's no
comes
inspect.
off, a very bold one because he was the only
Hold up.
2 people in conversation with the real DA.
Hold up. Inspect and fingerprint are off. Microfilm and Purloin are on.
Oh boy. This really is an experiment, huh?
I think Purloin you can actually make a pretty decent case for. Microfilm, that's more experimental.
Well, green test on the Purloin and a green test on the second flirt up to 85%. Gets taken by the SDA.
And the reject was right in front of the sniper, too. So you're really just hoping they're not even looking at that point. Magician sees it, and I think this is way narrowed down now.
I think so, but that's the game. The seduce is done. It doesn't look like Magician's willing to take the shot, and KrazyCaley gets it done.
Nope, just flirts too quick. Chase the ST to windows, I believe, there at the end, and that'd be it. Even if it was narrowed down, not going to matter because he only had a few seconds left to shoot.
All right, KrazyCaley is pretty crazy indeed so far, but it's not doing too badly. He's behind by 1 still.
Yeah.
Has a chance to tie things up from the sniper side of high rise. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
If you thought that was crazy, take a look at this mission setup. Purloin swap.
Okay, well, here we go. 33% on the first flirt at blue bookcase. Sorry, green bookcase. Not colorblind, I promise.
And even though the mission setup is not a standard high-rise game, so far the pacing is. There's a half a flirt done here. And again, both players just almost never play high-rise competitively. It's unfamiliar to both of them quite a bit. That's one of the reasons Caley's picking it, of course, is he could ban it, possibly, for the finals against KCM. but he's got to play potentially almost every venue but one. So if he wants to ban anything else, he's gonna need a little practice on this. And even if he doesn't play it, it'll be good practice for other Softail variants. So a good opportunity for both of them to play a venue they don't very much, but that unfamiliarity may be going to show through a little bit.
Second flirt comes off up to 61%. He's going to need to get a close green to finish it in 3, but you've got so much time on this map, you don't need to finish it in 3.
Here's the question. Do you actually pick Smallman and then, how are you going to try to finish like that? It has to be a bug, right? Because you can't do a Softail finish. It's going to be Seduce Contact. Well, probably going to be Seduce Contact. Who knows, these madmen. But what's the third one going to be? Bug is the most viable by far, both on this venue and with this character.
Third flirt, 89%. Staring down the double agent, but a little bit too much movement right now.
Yeah, this would not be a good time to do it. You really need to nail the banana bread at least, especially if you're going to pick a crazy mission setup. You can't let Caley narrow it down the way he did on that other Tayan game.
Man, people are just don't like each other right now.
No, they don't. I think Twin already has a print, but that doesn't matter. Prints are off. They also have some inspects. Doesn't matter. Inspects are off. Boy, we sure have a really interesting frame game shaping up in an alternate universe where they picked a normal mission setup.
You're not wrong.
Instead, it's just like, when's he gonna bug? What's it gonna be? I guess it could be a Purloin. Probably not gonna be a swap because hard
Caley.
to swap and Caley and Small.
Yeah.
But it would be the most counterintuitive thing you could do other than swapping the same way on pub, so who knows?
Well, one conversation's full, the other one is empty. Still not a good time.
Yeah, there have been basically
no
zero
mission completions yet with 45 seconds to play.
Basically zero opportunities for a good banana bread so far. Maybe in the very beginning of the game, but nothing since. That's rough.
Remember what I said about flirt being easy on this map? Not if you're not doing anything. Well, sometimes if you're not doing anything, but not in this case. I think Magician's just going to wait for Caley to shoot. I don't think he's going to finish missions here.
And that might work on a normal 3-5 mission setup, but here, Caley's going to say no freaking way. There is going to be green Purloin, but I got to imagine he's going to be all over it, especially with all those people knocked out. 2 highlights, 3 total.
And still needs the flirt. Still needs the flirt. Is going to go for the bug instead.
Amba's going to take it. Amba's going to take the drink.
There's the bug at the last second. The shot comes off. KrazyCaley ties things at 3.
I think you can lay that one at the feet of the unconventional mission setup. I think you had a lot of ways to win otherwise.
Yep, I think so. But we've still got 2 more games on this bloody map.
All right, let's get into them.
Yep, no swap, no inspect, no fingerprint. Good God, in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Same mission
We've
setup as
got
the last
transfer
game.
again.
Same mission setup, same character.
Same bugs! KrazyCaley! This is what he does!
That's 3 chaos bugs if you have a counter anywhere. I know it's not Kletos tonight, but that's okay. We'll just imagine. 3 early chaos bugs for Caley, 2 on Tan.
Why do we have highlights for statue?
Muscle memory?
I guess. Got the first flirt there for 51%. Maybe it was a flirt pairing. Let's say it was a flirt pairing.
Maybe he suspects the bug.
Then why also highlight Rocker?
I don't know. Did she walk by the ambassador? I was too busy reacting to the bug.
Fair enough.
I honestly don't know.
What is happening in this set? Now I know why Wodar picked it. Good God.
Yep. Well, we've already got half the flirt done, and as crazy as the mission setup is, I don't think Caley's going to push his luck. I think he's thinking at this point, why let's just finish the seduce and do a contact and hope that's enough. And there's a pretty good chance it's going to be. If you're not already a big suspect for the bug, you're probably not going to lose anywhere else. He's going to just take a really cautious flirt here, though.
Well, assuming the same thing doesn't happen to Caley as happened to Magician.
Yes, you never know.
68% after the second flirt. We're at a bit of a... Oh, God!
That's one way to give the game away. A red test This actually happened. Kaylee and I played a 3-5 variant last season, Terrace 3-5. I think I retested against him. Let's just say stuff gets weird in week 10 is really the lesson here.
It's fine. Okay.
All
Last
right,
game of High Rise.
let's go.
Magician on the Spy. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So that's actually not nothing, because if you're saying here, if Kaylee's idea is I want to get some practice in on venues I don't let me get to practice in, there are two things to question. One is, it doesn't make sense if you're going to ban High Rise anyway. So will he ban High Rise? Interesting question going into the finals against KCM. If he doesn't, then I'm not sure I understand the choice. The other thing is, why play an unconventional setup? You're not really getting real High Rise practice this way. And you're definitely not getting any when you red test, because that doesn't tell you what you were going to get away with or not. So I understand the decision to pick unconventional venues because you get a little practice on them, but if you don't pick the normal setup, you're not really getting practice on them.
Well, unless he's planning on doing unconventional setups.
I technically you're right, but I'm sorry, there's zero chance he's going to pick this setup against KCM, I think, in the finals, if he doesn't ban High Rise to begin with. If that's the case, fine. I don't think KCM's going to notice either way, frankly. I think he's just going to play straight up because that's the way he plays. I'm the kind of person who would overthink that stuff, not KCM. I'm the one you want to target with your crazy mind games, everybody. But I think at minimum, you got to pick a standard mission setup. Otherwise, it really is all for naught.
I would just like to point out that we're briefcasing when fingerprints off.
Well, that makes sense to me, because then you lose heat. It's like going to statues when inspects are off.
But we haven't done literally anything yet. Now we're going to statues. There's no inspects. We get highlight anyway.
Well, okay. Sure. I don't know what these highlights are for. Like I said, maybe habit.
Seems like he's neutral lighting after about 20 seconds, so just to guard swap, which is,
Yeah.
I guess, I guess you can.
So-
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, I guess it's good.
You know what it is? Yeah, so if you're right, Yeesh, then I think it kind of makes sense, because what you're basically saying is, I'm Kaylee, I'm used to tracking 4 hardtails. I have this extra capacity sort of now, so why not use it this way, right?
Yeah.
Why not use it a different way?
33% on the seduce from the statue visit. But nothing else has happened, and there's 1:30 left to play. And Magician is so bored he's spinning.
Well, I mean, sometimes you can go for long stretches on High Rise where even if you're noticing etiquette things, even if you're noticing flirts, even if you're doing all those little detailed things you should do ideally as a sniper on High Rise, sometimes even with all that, there's not that much to look at for a little while. And in this case, that's doubly true because Magician is not doing very much either, as we can see, kind of just killing time, which again doesn't make sense with the hardtail setup. You can't just wait for an AI to complete. It's not going to feasibly happen here. In fact, it's literally impossible.
67% on the flirt after the second one. 50 seconds to play.
Normally, I'd be counting fingerprints and inspects to see who the top suspect is and where a shot might come off, but instead, Kaylee's just double zooming in on that list. And I gotta imagine this is gonna cover for a purloin.
Contact. No purloin.
Wow, very surprising. I don't know how we finish now.
Yeah. I don't know. 30 seconds to play now.
Well, the ambassador is in a super buggable position, but Magician wants none of it.
It's gonna be so easily guarded.
I mean, yeah, but all our options are bad right now.
That's true. Seduction target bails on us, so we can't even get the flirt.
It's just gonna time
I think
out.
he's just gonna let it
time out to
There's
prove a
nothing
point.
to play for here. Magician's
Nope.
shaking his head. He knows it. And we're tied at 4.
I honestly don't like it. I think you need to at least bug there at some point. You could actually kind of test him here. You could leave Swap and Purloin on to try to distract, and then just wait for and spend your whole game looking for one really good bug. I think you could do that.
I mean, yeah, Magician had chances. So like 123, he has a reverse bug. At the end there, just immediately flirt. You can do a walking bug. General has a very good walking bug, so I guess Magician just committed to not finishing.
Yeah. I mean, look, Kaylee is obviously usually going to catch that, but you know what you were signing up for when you picked that mission setup. And I think you were signing up for, I'm going to try to get a really good walking bug by him, if nothing else.
Well, now it's balcony time.
It is balcony time, and we're all knotted up. After all that, we're just going to play a best of 4.
Best of 4 starting on balcony.
Sure.
Prints are on.
Fingerprint.
Oh god. Okay, so contact seduce fingerprint. I actually kind of like this. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
It's not actually fully memey. Caley has done this competitively in the past. He used to do it a lot on old balcony in particular. Didn't have much luck with it, but it was a bit of a repeated experiment. What Caley likes to do sometimes on it is deliberately get one print and never finish, because who would do that? You lose heat and they spend the whole game waiting for the second print while you finish the standard balcony missions.
34% on the first flirt, nice and close, good positioning in conversation. Ambassador decides to get snuggly.
Well, it doesn't matter if the ambassador's snuggly. In fact, the only thing that matters there is that in 10 seconds they're going to leave and maybe touch something else. But there isn't that much to touch on balcony. It's all just drinks and briefcases.
This is true.
So you can do the print thing I mentioned as a sort of feint, or you can literally just hope that paying attention to the prints, like paying attention to the purloin when you leave it on, just eats up enough memory that they don't track flirts quite as closely. And that might be the goal here.
Contact comes off. Flirtation cooldown has expired. Double talk into the second flirt. Another green. Caley has not been hitting these action tests for some reason.
Yeah, and that's going to matter a lot on balcony sometimes.
"30 seconds to play now."
We're going to be if we try to timer flirt here, it's going to be with something like 5 seconds left.
Yeah. It's not
think that's the
something
plan.
you want to see. But it looks like that's the plan.
There's several
Assuming
highlights
the
here.
seduction target stays in conversation, of course.
If they bail, it's pretty much over. Although you could chase them to windows, that might be less suspicious than a talk in some ways, but it's going to be about 5 seconds of overtime. There's the flirt.
There's the
Cooldown.
cooldown. There's the talk with just a couple seconds left to play. Lots of overtime. Magician takes the shot. Caley not able to make it happen on the first game of balcony.
No, and Caley's stop talks are fairly infamous, especially on balcony. Magician knows it, and the timing alone is enough. Almost didn't even seem to need the overtime. Was lining up the shot already.
Magician now on the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And Magician 1 win away from taking a late season point against Caley, albeit in a strange set.
Magician AI control.
It'd be really funny if the AI finished fingerprints for him.
Oh my god.
Here we go.
Well, starting on briefcase.
I was able to predict that was going to happen because if they entered anywhere in that opening in the conversation, they were going to walk right by the briefcase while the ambo was at windows. So that was easy to see coming. The Magician says, all right, well, I guess I'm playing.
Yep. May as well grab that fingerprint while it's there.
Yeah, you have to take control at that point. You can't AI control through a fingerprint you're going to get credited for anyway.
Banana bread.
There's the contact coming off with only the ambassador out of conversation.
Whole bunch of talkers. Caley's got a lot of highlights there. Those are going to change as the game goes on, certainly. If they don't talk or if they do talk again, it might stay. Stuff like that. It's going to be sort of a provisional thing that's going to go up and down based on what they do or don't do next.
Red testing seduction target out of conversation. We're banking on the fingerprint.
Yep, we're also
trying
taking...
to get the seduction target caught.
Also a low light for that not unsmudged fingerprint on briefcase there. And the fingerprint on the drink.
Fingerprints. I don't think Caley's on it.
He's not. He lost track of it, I
Not
think.
reacting. And Magician gets the spy win past Caley on a fingerprint.
Yep, a drink fingerprint. Those are so often the ones that get missed. I think the BB, it was actually kind of clever. The BB gets Caley low lighting and looking around just as all that's happening, and the amba's bouncing too. Left a couple of them around, and that's enough. Magician forces at least a draw against Caley with 2 match points here in week 10.
KrazyCaley on the spy side of pub has to win both of these to not lose. He can't win it, but he can still not lose. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Some people play to win. Some people play to not lose.
Opens things up with a quick 34% on the flirt.
Banana bread.
Fake contact alone in conversation with the seduction target. He knows there's no SDA there, and he takes it anyway.
Yep, that's the kind of game you play with Pub. And before we get too far into this, by the way, while there's a little downtime, I want to point out that that is the first ever Diamond spy game where contact and fingerprint were completed on balcony or old balcony.
That's awesome.
That's never happened. And I'm not even saying where they happen to win. It's just never even been completed. Never mind shot or not.
No wonder Caley didn't think he'd finish fingerprints.
It's literally never happened, yeah.
Well, into statues.
Oh my god, I think I'm checking here and it's never happened in any division.
Oh, God. Wow.
Okay, so SCL history tonight, everyone.
Yeah, no kidding.
It happened once on Old Balcony in 2016.
Banana bread.
Moth against Trevor.
Well, contact comes off. We're at 85% on the flirt. Caley just needs one more talk, and that'll be the game. Minute and 30 to get it.
The double BBs can be really interesting. Sometimes they can throw the sniper off, but the trouble is so often you let off a combination of lowlights between the two that the number of people who are still in is very small, and the number of people who could all have a reel are very small as well.
There's the flirt from across the window!
That's finishing in style right there. And these are this is your standard Softel mission here now on Pub. Caley gets a little less crazy with a K this time and wins a relatively standard Pub game except for that early fake.
That was a finish.
Sometimes your target really wants to be seduced.
That's the
Yeah.
diamond skill right there. Just beckon your target to come to you. It
Yep.
works every time.
Yep, the Jedi mind tricks of Diamond, guys. It's I can't really teach them to you. You know, unfortunately, it's just something you learn. As soon as you advance, they teach you the Jedi mind tricks.
All right, and now one game remains. Magician fighting for a win, Caley fighting for a draw in possibly the weirdest diamond set to date. Let's see how this finishes up in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I don't know. We've had some pretty weird matches in Diamond.
Yeah,
This is up there.
yeah,
is up
you're
there.
right. I take it back.
There is a lot of competition, we'll just say, yeah. But I think the fact that we had an SCL first there, at least for New Balcony, pretty big deal.
Yeah. Goes to the bar early and picks up a flirt while he's at it for 34%.
And Magician, like I said earlier, has really played a lot of Pub this season. That's sort of been his go-to of choice to try to kind of upset the apple cart. He's played 14 games of it already. He's picked it 5 times, most picked of any venue, just one ahead of Tayen, although he's had a good pick spread. But yeah, Pub has been his kind of venue of choice. He doubled it against me as well.
Fingerprint off the briefcase. Now stepping into conversation with the seduction target once more for the next flirt. That was a weird conversation entry.
Yeah, it was. But again, Caley don't care about that so much.
63%. It's 2 whites, 1 at a distance. So now he needs to hit a green on the last one or go for the 4 flirt of shame.
The 4 flirt of shame, yeah. And already has a print, of course, by the way. Caley examining people's shoes with his sniper rifle. Not really sure what that's about, but Magician looks like they're maybe going for prints again after it worked so well on balcony.
Might be. Minute and 45 seconds. No mission completions yet.
No mission completes, but steady progress across multiple
Well,
missions.
there's the flirt being finished up. So we've got that. We've got one print. Minute and a half.
Double Agent is stubbornly on the far side of the venue, but now everybody is in conversation. Everybody. I think.
If there was a time for it, now is it. Although if we just go over there and contact, it'll be a bit too obvious, I think.
Well, Toby's not in conversation, I should point out, but he's already low lit.
We tried, but he got stuck on geometry. In the statue now.
That was not an instant sip, and I think this might have been played before the build, so that might have been a hard tell.
Well, Magician certainly shook his camera about it. There's the inspect done, one fingerprint to go, and this is a silent game.
It could be, but is the ambassador going to leave one in a reasonable place here? Are we going to have to do something aggressive? That path is not good.
Back into window. Hard to Jedi mind trick the ambassador's fingerprints to you at window.
Yeah, that's not.
It looks like it's going to be the contact instead. No convenient fingerprint available. Here it comes.
Taft or twin, Taft or twin.
Taft or twin.
Flip
the
a coin.
Shot comes off. It's the right one. And KrazyCaley holds for a draw.
Flips the coin, comes up heads, shoots Magician in the head, and forces a draw. Caley will go undefeated again, but Magician, with a strong showing and a strange set, forces a tie to close out the season going into the hazard match of Diamond.